yourself, you outthink yourself. You think yourself out of the fight. So we can't go in and overthink this thing. You know, we just know that we're dealing with working hard, fighting Tim Bradley. Right. And we just got to be willing to do what we got to do to offset and make Tim Bradley fight.
Is it going to be a matter of just matching volume for volume, or you know, just movement for movement?
We'll see how we feel. We think we're going to match movement for movement, but we got to see how we feel, you know. We'll go out there and let Jessie figure it out. He'll have 3 or 4 different schemes that he can take. And when he go out to the first round, whichever one works, he'll stick with it. If you have to make changes in the fight, he'll have enough that he can do that too. So.
You've only been with him a short time. What have you seen from Jessie that you're encouraged by, and also what are you seeing that makes you believe he can beat Bradley?
Constant improvement, and the fact that his willingness to learn. Right. He has a huge amount of willingness to learn. When you got a guy that's that willing to learn, the sky's the limit. If it was anybody else, I would say, no, I don't want Tim Bradley this quick, and I want to be willing to fight. But because of Jessie and how hard Jessie works and how willing he is to learn and how quickly he adjusts to what I teach him, I don't mind.
What's the biggest adjustment you've seen him make since you've had him?
With the patience, punching power, it's the way he looks at the game with ball.
What weight are they going to be fighting at?
147.
What attributes do you think Jessie will bring at that weight, since he's been fighting at a lower weight in his last few fights?
Lower weight the last couple fights, but he fought a couple fights at 47 as well, so he knows how it feels. There's nothing new to him. You got to think about it. Most guys that fight in the 147 division right now are guys that can fight 140 or 147. And that's why most of them are small when they go to 154. And a person like Cotto, who probably fought his amateur career at 132, never would have been seen as being a middleweight champ as a professional, because it just didn't happen. But now, because these guys, they kind of got the 140, 147 division lumped together. If you 140, you can fight anybody at 147 on any given day. If you 147, you can fight anybody at 140 on any given day. So it's almost like that division is kind of meshed together anyway. 140 to 150 is almost the weight class now.
What does he typically walk around at when he's training, and will the additional weight make him sluggish in his bout?
No additional weight will make him sluggish. You just have to lose a little bit less than he had to lose going down to 140.
Hey Roy, you were a master at taking away your opponent's best weapon. What would you say is the weapon he has to take away, Jessie Vargas has to take away from Tim Bradley?
Well, Tim has a lot of weapons. And Tim has a lot of weapons, and we have to figure out which one is most prevalent for him. And that's what we're trying to remove, but I don't know where to start at, you know, because you got so many. You know what I'm saying? So it's just hard to figure out. We got to go back and look at it and figure out which one we're going to take away. But we can't take them all, but we're going to take one. Whichever one we think is the most dominant, that's what we'll take away.
In a picture-perfect fight, you want him to box more, you want him to be in the inside more, a little bit of all of it?
Box more. There's a story. Tim is a warrior. You don't fight a war with a warrior, you got to box.
You know, Roy, there's always the joke going around social media that it's hard to get a decision against Jessie Vargas when you fight him in Vegas. How much of that does he pay attention to, or do you pay attention to when you're preparing?
None, because we're not fighting in Vegas. We're fighting in California, so we don't pay no attention at all.
Do you have any thoughts about your card Friday, by the way, downtown? The card you're promoting on Friday night downtown? Aren't you promoting?
Yeah. Me and my partner doing it, actually, so yeah.
Any thoughts about it?
No. Should be a good fight card, I hope.
I'm looking forward to seeing Chewy Gutierrez back in the ring. Is there a guy that you might want to get involved with?
Chewy is really interesting. I love to see
Have you talked to his people about maybe taking him on?
I want to. I would love to take Chewy on. Chewy is a very interesting guy.
Because he told me he's talked to a lot of people, that's why.
Yeah, Chewy is a big guy.
He'd be perfect for you. Come to your gym.
Yeah, I love having Chewy. I would love having him.
Okay.
Hey, Roy.
Super. Go ahead, guys.
If you beat Tim Bradley, is Pacquiao next?
Is Pacquiao going to fight again?
I think so. He's injured, but maybe in a year or 9 months.
Before he fight Floyd?
Oh, you think he may have a rematch?
I mean, that's what I've been hearing. So, do we get ourselves ready for something that may not even be a possibility? Or do we prepare for whatever come at us? Because we the champ, now we becoming that mark. Now they start looking at us saying, well, that's where we want to go. So there's so many people down there looking at us that we can't get caught looking for somebody else, and they all looking for us. That's how you get beat. So what we got to do when we get there, start looking down and say, all right, let's see which one of these little rascals gonna be the next one. And I like to refer to him as, let's see one of these little bastards gonna pop up next.
But I gotta ask you this, Jessie's one of the nicest people you'll meet. Forget boxing, as a human being. Have you ever met a fighter that down to earth in all your history in your career? Like, he's just cool, he's a chill dude.
I've met a few guys like that, but he is truly a real cool
Very
dude.
few like that.
And I really love, in fact, I love his personality, that's why I like working with him so much.
Does
Roy,
Jesse
talk
have
to us-
any type of history with Tim Bradley? Do they?
Not that I know of. If they do, they ain't tell me about it. Yeah,
Roy,
man.
talk to us about your road to Marco Huck. You know, you've been very, very active, a lot more active than today's supposedly active fighters. You know, talk to us a little bit about your
Well, it's been a
travels
tough
to
road
that.
because he's had some issues, promotional issues, I think, as well. So it's been kind of hard for him. He's supposed to fight June 12th. I think he got pulled off of that card because of promotional issues. Now I don't know when he's going to make his mandatory defense, but I know he has a mandatory defense that he has to make. Hopefully he'll make it in July or August so that we can fight later in the fall. If he don't make that mandatory defense, then I would have to try to fight him. Probably have to pay the mandatory to wait a minute. But the mandatory would probably love to have a fight with Roy Jones instead of Marco Huck, so he'd probably be willing to take that risk and let me go ahead and get this title and then fight me instead. So we have to see.
All right,
Roy,
thanks,
what's the
Roy.
biggest thing